fact, it's Paul Watts, number 29, so Paul Watts out of the reckoning in his Class B Ford Escort RS Turbo, but at the head of the field it's still Paul Bailey in that Class A car, now starting really to draw away from Kevin Kemp. The yellow Sierra Cosworth still working hard to try and get back on terms, but Kevin Kemp, the Midlander, at the moment being shown the way home by Paul Bailey's Escort RS 2000 Turbo. Speed of 150, almost 160 miles an hour down that main straight. Championship leader Kevin Kemp and stands on the brakes, down, turns left into the S's, heading out of the S's, heading through the bomb hole and round the Coram curve. It's number 1 though, the race leader, Paul Bailey. Bailey second in the championship at the moment. He won the championship in '91. He's had retirements, he's had engine problems and an exclusion to cope with this year. This race could be the race that puts him back on championship terms. Coming up across the line to start the third of his laps. And starting lap 4 now, it's Paul Bailey. Paul Bailey in the lead, then the yellow car, now half the length of the start-finish straight as they head into Riches. Behind him it's Kevin Kemp in that yellow Ford Sierra Cosworth. And we have a spinner down at the Russell complex as heading through in third place. It's Gareth Harrell. Gareth Harrell in car number 13. He's through Rich's corner safely, heading up now, up the straight, grabbing fourth gear, then back down to third for Sear corner. This is the corner that's absolutely vital to get your speed out on the straight. Running wide, Gareth Howell runs across the concrete, back onto the tarmac, foot buried on the floorboards, accelerating up through the gearbox, fourth gear, then fifth gear, flat out down the main straight. The Revett straight, one of the longest straight, and look, a problem for Gareth Howell, he's lost his front wheel, he's fighting for control. This is the entrance to the S's. Gareth Howell in big trouble. The front wheel tucked right up inside the wheel arch. That looks like a major suspension failure for the number 13 car. And what a piece of driving by Gareth Howell to bring it all back in one piece. Well, unlucky number 13, but starting lap 5, it's the race leader, Paul Bailey, in the Ford Escort. No problems for him. Now a distant second place. It's the yellow Ford Sierra Cosworth of Kevin Kemp. Here he is, crossing the line now. And really these two cars dominating this field, heading off now almost the distance of the straight ahead of the third place car. That's the red, white and blue Ford Escort of Andrew Wilson. He's heading Gareth Howell's, I beg your pardon, it's no longer Gareth Howell, it's Oesos Kizas in the Ford Escort in fourth place, but these are the cars that are the centre of the action at the moment. Number 91, Kevin Kemp, the Ford Sierra Cosworth, onto the Revett straight. This is where there was that heart-stopping moment for Gareth Howell with his suspension failure. Now we look back the full length of the Revett straight. There is the next man. There he is, car 37, Andrew Wilson, running in third place in the Ford Escort. The pack behind him now headed by the yellow car of Eosos Kizas. And heading down the straight, this is now the real battle for third place. Eosos Kizas from the Ford Sierra Sapphire of Chris Lord. And Eosos Kizas now running in a strong third place, but he's now got two cars closing up on him. Chris Lord in the Ford Sapphire Cosworth and the Ford Capri of Aaron Tucker. Both these cars running in the Aaron Tucker running in Class B, so is the yellow car of Eosos Kizas. But crossing line, number 37, Andrew Wilson in that third place, now looking back down to fourth place, Eosos Kizas in the yellow car. Then in fifth place, crossing the line now, and a big battle going on. Number 77 moves up, Andy Constantinou in the Ford Escort overtakes the Ford Capri of Aaron Tucker. A super run out of Russell for number 77. Andy Constantinou heading now down through Rich's corner, heading towards Sear. The old shape, the Mark 1 Escort. Andy Constantinou, a very highly tuned 2.4 litre Ford Pinto engine, but the Capri's fighting back. The Capri's got the power down the straight. Aaron Tucker's 2 litre Ford Pinto engine Capri retakes that place. And through into the S's. Number 20, Aaron Tucker, still at the head of the battle between himself and Andy Constantinou, number 77. So at the head of the field, this is the battle to watch at the moment. Still heading the race though, it's number 1, Paul Bailey. Then number 4, Gary Ward in the Ford Sierra Cosworth. Then we're looking back down to 3rd place. That's the red, white and blue Ford Escort, number 37 of Andrew Wilson. But then we've got the big battle, the yellow Ford Escort of Eustis Kizas. Then the battle behind him. This is the battle we're watching. Number 94 crosses the line. That's Chris Lord. Then the Ford Capri of Aaron Tucker and Andy Constantinou. And now Aaron Tucker's closing up on the turbocharged Ford in front of him. The Ford Sierra Cosworth, Ford Sapphire. Probably 300 brake horsepower into the bonnet of the Sapphire, but the Capri is closing all the time. Aaron Tucker, car number 20, chipping away. The man from Welling in Northamptonshire closing up on that Ford Sapphire. Chris Lord from Paynton with the Cosworth tuned 2 litre engine Ford Sierra. And the Capri is closing all the time, heading through the S's, turning right, then flicking out of the S's under the bridge into the bomb hole, holding on to that 4th gear. And the battle's still on between the Capri and the Sierra. And coming up to complete, it's just starting the 8th lap, in fact, race leader Paul Bailey in the Ford Escort RS 2000 Turbo at the head of the field, then Kevin Kemp in the Ford Sierra Cosworth, then the red, white and blue Ford Escort, Andrew Wilson. And Andrew Wilson brakes hard for Sear Corner. This is the corner out onto the main straight. Beautifully judged, the car running just onto the edge of the tarmac, holds full power down the straight. Number 37, Andrew Wilson, in the red, white and blue car. Andrew Wilson, this race is going to do his championship chances a great deal of good. The Welshman from Dinas Powys in the Escort RS 2000, heading the Class B at the moment. The race leaders already crossing the line, starting their 8th lap. Starting their 9th lap. Race leaders starting lap 9, then 10-lap race, don't forget. We're looking now at Paul Bailey, the leader himself. He's drawn out a huge margin over the rest of the field. Headlamps ablaze, he's coming up to pass the back markers. Andrew Moore from Sidcup in the orange RS 2000. He's got the red RS 2000, number 1, bearing down on him. Paul Bailey from Cheshunt in Surrey storms down the straight, pulling over 160 miles an hour through the S's. There's Bailey with headlamps ablaze. He's on his way through the back markers now. This is really domination by the driver, the man who built, designed and repaired his own car, the Ford Escort RS 2000, powered by one of the fire-breathing turbocharged 560 brake horsepower Group A Sierra Cosworth engines, turbocharged 2-litre motor. Paul Bailey really is showing his superiority. Watch him take the back markers, powering past one of the Escorts, now powering past number 76 Andrew Moore across the line onto his last lap, and 1 lap still to go, just 2.4 miles of the Snetterton circuit. And it's the Paul Bailey Ford Escort at the head of the field, road registered. This car occasionally driven to and from the circuit on the public road. Could you imagine that? A 170 miles an hour projectile being driven on the public road. Well, Paul Bailey occasionally does it, but a problem, and that is the 2nd place car number 91, Kevin Kemp. He has got the front bumper hanging off. It's rubbing on the front bodywork. So Paul Bailey on the final stages of his last lap. is absolutely dominating at the head of the field. The question now, of course, is that second place car of Kevin Kemp going to hold together to the finish line? Now heading down through the Coram curve for the final time. The marshals are readying the checkered flag, and they're readying it for number 1, Paul Bailey. He's got a group of back markers right in front of him. He's weaving, he's trying to find his way around them. Powering past the back markers, Paul Bailey dominating the Vecta Fast Forward Challenge race at Snetterton, takes the checkered flag. Now the big question, as Paul Bailey starts his lap of honour, who is going to hold on for that second place? Paul Bailey takes the waves, takes the salute from one of the other drivers who passes him. But heading round, he's still going, he's still heading to the checkered flag. The front bumper is hanging off, it's rubbing on the front tyre. You can see now the steering is damaged as well. There is all sorts of grief for Kevin Kemp, but Kevin Kemp is keeping going. The man from Telford in Shropshire. The Severn Valley Motorsport Sierra limps to the line to take a dramatic second place. He takes the checkered flag with a huge sigh of relief, no doubt. The front suspension completely askew, so he's run it very hard onto a curb. And just seconds behind him as he pulls off on the grass, he can't even do another lap. Coming to take the third place, taking the checkered flag, number 37, Andrew Wilson in the Ford Escort. He now will get maximum championship points in Class B for the cars from 1651 cc's to 2000 cc's, but the winner of the race, winner of Class B, Paul Bailey. The Ford Capri crosses the line. The battle between the Escort of Andy Constantinou and the Sierra of Chris Lord, taken just by a few inches in favour of Constantinou's Ford Escort. The Sierra then finishing in 6th place. And as the cars head down through the line, a dramatic end to the race and a dramatic finish for both Paul Bailey, the race winner, and the second place man, Kevin Kemp, in the Vecta Fast Forward Challenge. Paul Bailey, and drama throughout the race.